Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Denice Scary Show. And it's just my pleasure to have Admiral Kikarias. This man has been an admiral and a commander for NATO forces in the Mediterranean for many, many years, is a counterterrorism leader around the globe, and advises nation states on issues pertaining to national security. Admiral Kikarias, thank you for coming on the Denice Scary Show today.
Thank you very much, Denice, for having me. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to talk about a telephone conversation in which the president of Iran, President Rouhani, made to the president of the Islamic nation of Turkey, President Erdogan. And I don't know about you, but when I was reading pieces of the transcripts regarding that phone call, according to Iranian government outlets, based on what the Iranian government was putting out in terms of the propaganda, it stated that the president of Turkey offered condolences to the Iranian people, to President Rouhani, calling General Soleimani a man that has murdered scores of innocent Iranians, a man that has orchestrated attacks through Iranian terrorist militias, assassination teams inside Iraq and Yemen and Syria and Lebanon. Soleimani, a man who's responsible for having stormed the U.S. embassy inside Iraq and responsible for orchestrating attacks that killed an American contractor and wounded several other American servicemen and women. I have to ask you, what does that mean to the Iranian people, to the Iranian government, that President Erdogan referred to Soleimani as a martyr? Is that...
thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Denice. Yes, I'm aware of that. And actually, this is something that confirms, what was my idea and thinking about the relationship between, years relationship between Turkey and Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see them so many times. We see Erdogan with Rouhani and Mr. Putin getting together and like brothers, and we've seen them making decisions on Syria, on the wars,
Yes.
and in other areas, and also, I heard Erdogan yesterday saying that the borders of Turkey are not the borders that you think. Our borders will go inside Iraq. They go inside, very far away from Turkey.
So the Turkish president is suggesting that he's going to expand the borders of Turkey to...
Yes.
Okay, and this and the alliance between the President Erdogan of Turkey, President Putin of Russia, and President Rouhani of Iran, they have a very tight relationship. How many years?
Oh, many years. For many years now. It's,
Yes.
Let's say, 4 or 5 years.
Yes, it seems like they're getting, in terms of the
After-
alliance,
yes,
tighter and tighter.
After when the aircraft was hit from Turkey, it was about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, about the 4 years. 4 years they are aligned very, very much, very, very much, and they make mutual decisions. And now this is another proof that Erdogan, who is presents himself as a leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, and tries to represent all the Sunnis, though some Arab countries like Egypt and Jordan and other Sunnis do not accept him.
Right.
But he tries to, but he has made it to be like a leader to the Muslim Brotherhood. everywhere, worldwide, and in here,
It's my understanding, sir, that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, under the leadership of the late General Soleimani, was actually involved heavily with working with the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood being really the mouthpiece, the propaganda piece, and the IRGC being the muscle, working together as a team to promote jihadism or terrorism around the globe. Is that correct, sir?
Oh, yes, this is correct. And not only that, you remember that the Muslim Brotherhood has overtaken Egypt with Mr. Morsi?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Morsi.
they are also on the field, on the ground, and also in Libya. The government that exists now, which headed by a Muslim Brotherhood, Libyan Turkish guy, Mr. Haraz. They are, Muslim Brotherhoods, all of them, and only General Haftar is fighting them.
General Haftar is the general in Libya that's being supported by President Trump that wanted to further democracy in Libya. And he's in effect fighting our NATO ally Turkey in Libya because Libya is backing the wrong team. Libya is backing the Islamist team, the team that supports terrorism, while Turkey's NATO ally, the United States government, is supporting General Haftar in Libya. Sir, when President Erdogan of Turkey said to the president of Iran that Soleimani is truly a Muslim martyr of the Muslim world, what message did that send?
That sent that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Shia of Iran actually are in a way united. They follow the same path.
Okay.
And I've read a statement from Mr. Rouhani to Erdogan, and during their conversation, that we always have negotiated and found mutual agreement in complicated issues. ...
Yes.
So that means everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That means what has happened and what will happen. What will happen? What is coming? Okay, and we see that. We see that what is coming, but we're sleeping. Europe is sleeping the good sleep, and here many of us are sleeping. We don't see that.
But in effect, Turkey is saying to Iran and Iran back to Turkey, we'll stand together despite whatever complications or problems arise with the Western alliance. Okay.
Exactly. This is what happened in the big world in the Middle Ages. Turkey got the Ottoman Empire, and the rest went through Spain to conquer all Europe. We should know. We should read history.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I want to ask you, in a telephone conversation we had the other day, you mentioned that Iran raised a red flag on a certain mosque in a city inside Iran. You said that this particular mosque in Iran is considered the most holy of all mosques, sort of the mother of all mosques in Iran, and the fact that this red flag was raised over this mosque in Iran. What is the significance of this, sir?
I've read that in history, very rarely a red flag has been raised in this mosque. Actually, they don't remember when was the last time. Okay.
But what was the point?
The point is that the flood red flag symbolizing vengeance.
Vengeance. Okay. Yes. All right.
Of Jamarkaran Mosque in Qom, Iran.
Okay.
Okay. It was raised the same day that Soleimani was killed.
Okay.
And
so the flag of vengeance has been raised over what is the holiest flag over the
Exactly.
holiest
That
mosque in
means,
Iran.
yes, and that means that it asks for revenge
Right.
and worldwide jihad against America and of course Israel.
So Iran, by raising this red flag over this mosque in Iran, is calling Muslims worldwide,
worldwide,
to raise the sword of jihad against the United States. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
And I wanted to ask you, the fact that Iran, the IRGC, is working with the Muslim Brotherhood. They're working to establish a stronghold inside Libya. What do you believe is going to ultimately happen in Libya? Do you think the president will be successful in his backing of General Haftar in Libya? Or do you see just a long, drawn-out civil war continuing in Libya in the years ahead?
This would have finished if Turkey was not there.
Okay.
This would have finished already, and General Haftar would have taken all Libya. And General Haftar is head now of the cosmic Muslims, who are very much like us. They don't like the extremes.
Okay, let's talk about something else. So, the President of the United States said in a speech the other day, that America's policy is unambiguous, that to terrorists who harm or intend to harm any American, the President has said, we will eliminate you. The President has said we will always protect our diplomats, our service members, all Americans, and our allies. Admiral Kikarias, as a NATO commander over NATO forces, you know what it is to safeguard the lives, not just of Americans, but our allied coalition partners. In light of the fact that the President has worked to protect the United States in taking out the world's chief sponsor of terrorism, General Soleimani, do you believe the President has done the right thing? And do you believe that he should move forward in continuing attacks on Islamic leaders around the globe? Your thoughts, sir?
Yes, when I heard the Secretary of State Pompeo to make the statement after the president, and which I liked very much because he ended that with this phrase that we protect our country, our homeland, our troops, and our allies. This is huge.
Yes.
This is huge, and we have to make a stop here and think and make decisions and revive the NATO alliance to be strong as it was before, because we need it. We need it to fight all these that have been going together in alliances and working the worst war, the asymmetrical war, killing here, killing there, and they follow the same plan, Denice. When the Turks came about close to the 700, 800 years after Christ, there were some thousands of tents. But what they did, they went into a place and they told them, okay, we're going to protect you from the taxpayers. And then they became mercenaries of the Byzantium. And this was one of the fatal mistakes of Byzantium. Byzantium was paying them to fight its enemies.
The Greek Empire was paying them as mercenaries to fight their enemies, right? And this is why the Greek Empire fell.
And what they did, they put different groups in different places.
Right.
And when after the Crusades, that the Byzantine Empire, which was established empire for almost 800 years, very strong empire, you understand?
Yes, empire.
But after that, they turned the switch on, and all these were like bombs. all around the empire. This is what they're doing now.
They're turning the switch on. In other words, under President Erdogan's leadership in Turkey, he's inspiring jihadists around the globe in order to attack the Western infidel nations.
They have sleeping cells, like the
Right.
mosques. He
Right.
said, his nuclear weapons are the mosques, are the minarets of the mosques.
Right.
And now this is what they do in Europe, they do here, and when they turn the switch on,
Well,
this will be the end. This will be the end.
it's my understanding that President Erdogan is raising about $1.5 billion from American Muslims who attend
Yes.
mosque here in this country
Mhm.
to support terrorism by the Turkish state. Is that correct, sir?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Okay.
And he's influencing and almost leading the care.
Yeah, the Council on American Islamic Relations. Yes.
Exactly.
So let's pivot now. You always take these shows that we do because you're wanting to share out this information, and as a formal admiral of NATO forces, you put it up on your LinkedIn account, Admiral Kikarias' LinkedIn account. And I understand, based on our conversation yesterday, that the corporation, LinkedIn Corporation, has now restricted your account, which means you can no longer post your articles, news briefs, these shows that we do together. You can no longer post them on LinkedIn. Is that correct?
No, I cannot. I can do nothing. My account is cannot be seen by anyone.
So if we were to go on LinkedIn right now, we could not bring up Admiral Kikarias'
You
account.
No, it's not existing there.
Okay. And you've petitioned your representatives in Congress. Is that correct?
Oh yes.
And what did they say?
They're going to take care of that.
Okay.
I have about almost 30,000 direct connections with very high officials worldwide. I have
Well, naturally,
created
yes.
three groups of
Mhm.
myself. I'm manager of other 5 groups.
Okay.
I belong to 110 groups, and
Military
thousands have followed me.
Right, military organizations and other kinds of organizations, NGOs around the world, right?
Yes, and here the groups of the Department of Defense, the intelligence communities, and everything.
Okay.
So this is something that I've been working for 13 years, promoting peace and security and our global and homeland security.
Right. And the Islamist threat continues, and it will continue going forward in 2020. And it's something that we need to be able to discuss. And I wanted you to share that with my audience, because free speech is under attack by the Democrats, by the progressive movement here in the United States, and the progressive movement around the globe, the globalists that are operating around the world. They're wanting to shut down freedom of speech, and they want to shut freedom of speech down right here in the United States. And people like Bernie Sanders and Hillary Rodham Clinton, all of the progressive candidates, all the Democrats that are running for the presidency of the United States of America want to shut down freedom of speech. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's so important that you're clear-eyed on what's going on. Facebook has shut down many people's accounts. Twitter has shut down people's accounts. Now we hear from Admiral Kikarias, a man that commanded troops for NATO. In fact, I understand you were stationed at the headquarters and were in charge of commanding NATO headquarters. You are somebody, Admiral Kikarias, that has done so much to promote freedom around the world and, of course, in the Mediterranean. And I think it's so important that people know that LinkedIn would have the gall, the guts, to come in and take from you right here in America your free speech rights. And it's appalling, sir.
Yes, it is very sad. It's very bad. This cannot happen here.
I think this is a perfect indication of why people in this country need to vote Republican, because the Democrats do not want to see any kind of free speech, because when there's free speech, even the Democrats can be criticized, and I know that so many of them are in bed with organizations like CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, They're in bed with Islamist groups in the Muslim Arab world, and indeed, their campaigns receive money from organizations that are sponsoring jihadists, not only here in the United States, but around the globe. So I think it's really important that people know that the Democrats are working hand in glove with these Islamic groups that, of course, want to shut down people like yourself and your ability to exercise your free speech rights. Admiral Kikarias, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast today. And we hope and we pray that your account on LinkedIn, that I encourage everyone to check out and protest. Do you have any knowledge of what our audience can do, what listeners can do to reach out and support you?
Oh, if the more people will write something to LinkedIn about that, of Admiral Peter Kikarias' account.
Yeah, put Admiral Kikarias' account back up. So, ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
Get on LinkedIn, write to LinkedIn, make it clear you want Admiral Kikarias' account put back up. And the spelling of his name will be right there for all of you to see when you view this show at 5 p.m. every day on Facebook, on YouTube. The talking points will be right there with the spelling of Admiral Kikarias' name. Admiral, thank you so much again for coming on the Denice Gary Show.
Thank you very much, Denice, for doing that also for my account, because through my account I fight. I continue my fight, my war.
Yes, sir, I understand.
For our independence and our security.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for all you do, sir.
Much.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our Frugatis commercial. Apparently, I seem to be having, as you can clearly see today, a little problem with my vocal cords. So we'll go right to our Frugatis commercial. Thank you for listening.
I want to tell you about a place I love to go, Frugatti's Italian Restaurant. Very few locations here provide seating outside in front of a fabulous water fountain with an atmosphere that is reminiscent to me of eating outdoors in Venice. This is real Italian food by real Italians. And what makes it even more so is owner Ralph Frugaletti, who nearly a quarter century ago brought a wood fire oven from Milan, Italy to make, like his mother, fresh homemade bread and pizzas. Moreover, Frugatti's Restaurant offers you not only the very best in Southern Italian cooking, even importing the finest ingredients for authentic Italian food, including a fitness menu. After all, Ralph has represented the United States and Italy, competing in the Master Championship Games. He knows all the right food for good fitness, so check out the menu. After today's broadcast, run over to Frugatti's Italian Restaurant and Catering at 600 Coffee Road here in Bakersfield. And after a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday service, stop into Frugatti's for a great lunch. I'll see you there, and tell Mr. Ralph Frugaletti that Denice sent you. Salute. Bon appetito.
President Trump has correctly stated that economic security is national security, and in the Tehachapi Mountains of Kern County resides a United States defense contractor, Anates Products. Here is the Silicon Valley of the aerospace industry, right here in East Kern. Anates Products is a forward-leaning manufacturer and distributor of hardware sold to major defense and aerospace companies. We're talking about Boeing, Lockheed Martin, United Technologies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon General Electric, and on the list goes, as well as to every United States ally worldwide, including Israel, America's most important strategic ally in the Middle East. And for everything that flies, Anates Products is providing the parts. And with me today is the president of Anates Products, Scott Baker. Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
Scott, tell us why you believe this corner of Kern County is the hub of the aerospace industry.
Well, this portion of Southern California here out in the Antelope Valley, it contains, some of the most cutting-edge technology going on in aviation today. We have some of the UCAS programs with unmanned technologies going on. We have Edwards Air Force Base out here who's doing continual testing in their area. We have the Naval Weapons Station up there at China Lake doing some fantastic cutting-edge stuff, cruise missile technology, and those things are going on. We have Scale Composites locally doing a lot of composite technology, which is new. We have SpaceX, which is a private one, putting a private entity putting things into space now. This area is the growth center for aviation's future, and This is the area I think that as a nation we need to be concentrating some of our effort and taking this technology. And as we all know, with the space program from Apollo years ago, out of these technologies, we the private sector are going to reap some of the benefits of that.
Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Baker, president of Anatase Products. Anatase Products, located in the beautiful mountains of Tehachapi, California, in eastern Kern County, is home to some of the most innovative and specialized technologies in the world, including those at the U.S. Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division at China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, as well as Stratolaunch, launching satellites capable of delivering multiple orbits in a single flight to space. And it is Anatase Products that has provided the manufactured devices. And the president, Scott Baker of Anatase Products, Marine Corps veteran, reactivated on 9/11 to monitor threats to the homeland, is carrying on a tradition of providing for the security of the United States by manufacturing every kind of fastener on anything that flies, as well as providing a full testing destructive laboratory. Contact Anatase Products, now in business for 30 years, at 661-822-6873. Located at 1314 Goodrich Drive in Tehachapi for your manufacturing and testing needs today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Denice Scary Show. Thank you so much for listening. Please support Ralph Frugaletti, the owner of Frugatti's Restaurant, and those of you that are working for defense contractors around the United States. Please send all of your jobs to Anatase Products. They can do and build the hardware to specs that you need. Thank you again for listening to the Denice Scary Show. We'll look forward to being right back with you tomorrow. Thank you.